Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 63 in my Automate Everything Minecraft series. In today's episode, I am going to semi-automate the production of these upgrades here from the mod Draconic Evolution. Now that process will involve fusion crafting, and I have actually already set up an automatic area to make some of the fusion crafts from the mod Draconic Evolution, but this area will not work very well as these upgrades to be applied, there are actually different recipes depending on what tier you want. So for example, for the arrow damage upgrade, which is one of the upgrades I will be applying to my bow, there are 4 different tiers here and they involve different ingredients for the different tiers. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. But what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this off camera I think, is I'm going to kind of replicate some of what I have going on right here. I'm going to have 8 of the Draconic fusion crafting injectors around a fusion crafting core, and I'm going to have an automatic start mechanism like this particular setup has, and a hopper out mechanism. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of that and I am going to build it in this new purple building right here. And once I have that built, I will be right back. And here we are. Here is the setup as of right now. I did change a little something as far as this compared to my old setup. Instead of having redstone conduit right here, I just decided to extend the redstone dust and have a repeater in. That should be fine though. That should operate just fine. So that is good. And that should work. So anyways, let's get started on this. So right now, if we look up the upgrades from Draconic Evolution, we will notice that there are actually a lot of times there's 4 tiers, but this one only shows up with 3 tiers. If we go to arrow speed, there are 4 tiers. I'm actually going to set this system up to only be able to do the 3 tiers, the first 3 tiers. So I'm not going to worry about the chaotic tier because that would take an insane amount of effort. And not to mention, yeah, I don't really need it. The Draconic tier makes these bows quite good if you have the upgrades on them. So let's get started with that. So my system, and actually I'm going to do a few things real fast that might not make any sense until we get later on in the build. But right now, what I'm going to do is set up essentially 3 toggle switches. And I'm going to set them up in the basement. And what these toggles will do is, what my plan is anyways, is to have 3 different buttons, and each of these buttons will control one of the tiers. So basically, if I want to make a basic upgrade, I hit a button and it will plug in all the things into the fusion crafting injectors that are needed for that particular upgrade. So for example, if I were to be doing the, actually, for this to make sense, I guess I need to go through all of the basic infusions, use all of the same things, except the only thing that's different is the actual upgrade itself. So if you'll notice as I right click on this, so why this is going to work is no matter what upgrade I'm putting on it, the basic tier always uses 2 golden apples, 2 diamonds, 2 eyes of ender, and 1 draconic core. And then each wyvern upgrade will use 2 nether stars, 2 draconic cores, 2 emeralds, and a wyvern core. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up 3 separate redstone controlled systems that will input the items dependent upon which tier I'm going to be doing. So first off, I need to decide where I'm going to have my buttons. I think I'm going to do my buttons over here. So what I need to do is I guess make kind of a pedestal here, and what I can do right now is something like this, and I actually need my 3 buttons, so let's grab those. I want them to be, say, there, and then I'm gonna have 3 more blocks because I want to put some signs here. And these signs will say basic wyvern, and then draconic. Basically, it's just telling me what upgrade tier each button will control. So now what I need to do is I need to go down to the basement, and I need to set up a little redstone here. So I need, and actually I think I need to change those to facades. I think it'll work better if I use facades here. Because then I can put the redstone conduit in that block space, which is exactly what I want to do there. Okay, so now I actually should take these facades away real quick, because I need to, oh, that was dumb. I can't do that. I need the facades there. What I'm going to need to do is use my Yeta wrench for this little trick, because I need to set each button down to a different color. So let me grab my Yeta wrench and let's try this again. Okay, so this one will be, yeah, that one can be red, this one can be green, and this one can be brown. Okay, so it's basic, wyvern, draconic. And that doesn't really matter right now because we're not quite there yet, but we need to set up toggles. And let me see here. How do I want to do this? I honestly think it'll be alright if I just drop these down and put my pistons here. Actually, you know what? I'm already thinking about this, and it won't be ideal if I have them side by side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this build out just a little bit. So we can have one right here, one in the middle, and that's a pain. So what I'm going to do is that can be there, and then we can have one, say, right, oh, that's in the wrong spot, I think. Yep, there. And then, okay, so I had 3 blocks in between. So let's do 3 blocks in between again. And then this one. And then on the opposite side, not quite there, we're going to have another set of pistons. Oh, and once again, I placed it in the wrong spot. And I could use a wrench, I think, to move that around, but I'm just going to break it and do that. So what I need to do with these guys is I need to hook each one of them up to a different color. So I have, for the basic, I have brown, I believe. Okay, that's brown, and we need our Yeta wrench actually to hook these up. Perfect. And I think this will be easier if I do it from the top side, change these to the different colors. So this one's brown. This one needs to be output on brown. And this one needs to be, actually I can't do the middle one from the top side. Crud. Actually I can, if I do this. So this one needs to be green, I believe. And then this one needs to be red. And let me double check this, because there's a high probability that I screwed that up. Okay, so that's red, green, and then brown. Cool. Okay, so that should all be good. And let's actually test this out real fast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set some red blocks down here. And then I'm going to push one of the buttons. Okay, it should have moved to the middle one. It did. Okay, so let's try the near side one. It did. Okay. And then the far side one. Cool. And And just quickly so I can move them back, because their default positions need to be over on the other side. Okay, cool. So the next thing I need to do is I need to hook up these pistons. And what I'm going to do for these pistons is I'm actually going to hook them up to this circuit right here. Okay, so those are there, so these pistons should be right here. Okay, so let's grab our redstone conduit here and then do this. And I'm going to need to, like I said, hook this up to this little system right here. So what I can do is I can run it just up like so. This can be input on red. Actually, let's do it on green, because that's kind of the default output color. So now I need to output on green. That's fantastic. Output on green, that works. Okay, there we go. So actually, let's so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of the redstone blocks over just to test the system out, and then I'm going to artificially put down actually I can just use a button I already have and hit this right here, and all of those pistons should have pushed the blocks back, which they did. Cool. Okay, so that seems to be working, and the only thing that could go wrong is this right here might not. Oh, never mind. Nope, that'll work. So what I'm going to do real fast is I am going to make this neat and tidy it up a little bit, and once I'm done with that, I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Everything's all tidied up. So the next thing I need to do is I need to get the items for these particular tiers of crafting into some sort of inventory. At least that's how I have it designed in my head. So what I'm going to do is let's actually organize my inventory a little bit better. That way we can organize my inventory as I need it for this task right here. Okay, so let's just look at the basic. The basic tier requires golden apples, diamonds, eyes of ender, and draconic core. So I'm probably not going to remember all of that. So let's actually get rid of these because I don't need them right now. I need golden apples. I need diamonds. I need 2 diamonds. I need 2 eyes of ender. And I can't remember the last thing I need. Oh, I think it's a draconic. I think it's one of these bad boys. So let me double check here that I have all of the right items here. So golden apple, diamond, eye of ender, draconic core. Cool, and I even have the right quantities. So the next tier is the wyvern tier. So it's nether stars, draconic cores, emeralds, wyvern core. And I'm sure I'm gonna forget something here. So wyvern, I think it's 1 wyvern core, and I think it's 2 draconic cores, and then 2 emeralds or something like that. Okay, so let's double check I have everything right. 2 draconic, 1 wyvern. I think everything else looks good. Cool. And so now the draconic tier. 2 more nether stars, 2 wyvern cores. Okay, so whoops. 2 stars, 2 wyvern cores. And that's going to take a second to craft. And I forgot the other thing I need. Blocks of emeralds. Okay, that's really easy. I do need to automate this. I need to automate the blocks of emeralds. Because otherwise, if I do not do that, my system will not be able to craft them. cool. Whoops, I did not mean to do that, and I'm going to the wrong building. Okay, so this is the building I need. Okay, so what I'm going to, or how I'm going to do this is I need to grab some ME interfaces. I also need to grab 2 blocks of emeralds before I can get going. Fantastic. So ME interface, I need 3 of them. Cool, I have exactly 3. And these will go down here. And I actually can kind of put them wherever I want, maybe. Let's see. So I want, when I say put them wherever I want, I don't actually mean that at all. So that's not going to work over here. Let's try that. So now what I plan to do with these blocks of redstone is to use them to activate servos. And I can do that by having them beside an item duct with a servo. And this servo will actually be on the high setting, so it will not extract anything unless there's a block of redstone beside it. So if I go up here, knock this button, it will activate that servo, and so this servo will be able to pull things out. And that's how this whole system is going to work. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and hook up these other servos right here, and then I need to hook up this entire line of item ducts. And you know what? I'm just going to make this ugly and work. It's going to be ugly and functional. I do need to be careful here. I need to wrench this connection away. Otherwise, items will go into here, and we do not want that. Okay, so that should work. Now we actually need these items to make their way into the Draconic Fusion injectors. So how we're going to do that is we're going to take some item duct, and we're just going to run it around. And we actually need to punch this through somewhere to connect this item duct up. And I don't think it'll work right there. Actually, no, it won't. Because there is, there's flex duct there. But you know what? I can just run it through the back here. So I'm going to once again have to grab my wrench and wrench these 2 connections away because we do not want those. I do need to go ahead and put my flux duct back because we kind of need that there. Where I'm at it, I might as well cover it up. So this right here, this item duct needs to connect with this item duct right here. I need to get rid of a few things in my inventory. Anyways, that should work. So let's tidy this up just a smidge. And cool. Okay, so that should work. Now what we're gonna do is with these guys, I need some crafting cards. So let's, like I said, get rid of some stuff. I don't need those. I won't actually need the relays, I don't think. I don't think I need that. Okay, so we need some crafting cards. So let's grab that. And I need 3 of them. I don't know why I put in 1. So each of the ME interfaces needs a crafting card. And I did the wrong thing. I shift clicked when I should not have shift clicked. And I don't know where my other crafting cards went. Okay, that's cool. I'll just make more. Oh. I seriously don't have crafting tables automated? What is this madness? Let's try this again. I don't even know how that's possible. Oh well, whatever, I'll get over it. So, okay, so they all have crafting cards. The next thing I need to do is I actually need to hook them up to the ME system that I have, my applied energistic system. So let's grab some cable. Some ME cable, that is, and I really have no idea what color I should use here. Let's also grab some conduit. And I just can use the regular variety. And grab my facades that I got rid of. So to hook these up, actually, you know what? It would be a lot easier if I run it the other way. If I do something like this. And let's punch it through right here. Oh, cool. I chose the right color. That's fantastic. So actually, I don't want to connect it like that. I want to use this conduit right here. That way I can use a facade. If I can aim. Okay, so these guys should all be hooked up. So that's fantastic. Okay, so now I need to... Actually, I need to reset that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a button. And you know what? I can just leave a button here. Because it's not doing any harm if it's there. Whatever. So let's reset that block of redstone by hitting the button. That's cool. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is we need to place the crafting ingredients into the ME interface. So basically what I'm going to be doing is telling my ME interface to keep this specific amount of items in its inventory. And once it actually hooks up to the applied energistic system, it should start to do that. Because it has a crafting card, so if it needs anything, it should be able to craft it up. So that's the basic. So it has everything for the basic craft. For the Wyvern tier, this will be the interface. And then this one will be for the Draconic crafts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bump that one in there because this is super expensive and I don't want to make any more than I actually need. So at any point now, once that hooks up to the applied energistic system, it should go ahead and put those items in the inventory as it needs. So I actually should make sure that this is connected. Because I really thought it would have hooked up by now. Okay, so it says 3 channels. Okay, that should be the 3 channels that I just added. So let's go down here. And... yes! Cool. Okay, so now that they have the items that they need, what we need to do is we need to configure these servos here. And I want them to do 1, and I want to set this to random. And the reason for this is I found that if I use round robin mode, it can actually get stuck sometimes. I don't really know why. And I am putting it on 1 item so that it doesn't try to overstuff and then get the servo all blocked up. So yeah, I need the servo. Set this to 1, random, and then 1 and random. Actually, I actually need this back. Shoot. Oh well. So what I need to do next is I need to set up the filters, and I haven't added those yet. But I need to put filters here all the way around. And then I need to configure these bad boys. Okay, so this one will be... we need to whitelist these. We need to set this to 1. Actually, let's do that for all of them real fast. That way I don't forget one of them or multiples of them. Okay, so let's start right here. Let's do golden apple and nether star. Because the nether star obviously is for both recipes, so we only need to do the two. Once again, golden apple and nether star. So there's the first two items, and then the third item will be diamond. We need to be careful here, to be honest. And I want to get rid of this. You know what? Let's not. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that this way. So, actually, I'm not quite sure how I want to go about this, because, for example, this recipe needs 1 draconic core, and this recipe needs 2, and the same thing happens with the wyvern cores on these 2 different recipes. So I'm not quite sure. You know what? I should only have 1 thing going at a time. So I shouldn't have any conflicts, so it shouldn't really be a problem. So let's do that. Actually, it might be a problem, but I think I know how I can get around this. So for example, it might try to put, instead of a diamond here, because I want a diamond for this particular craft, instead of putting a diamond here, it might actually put a draconic core here, because that's also whitelisted. I think I know a way I can get around that. So anyways, I need to set up this third one to be, or this fourth one to be the same. Okay, so that's the 4th item taken care of. This will be the 5th item, so that'll be these guys. And the 6th item is the same. Okay, so the 7th item here is where I need to get a little bit tricky. Because on the other side, I could accidentally put a draconic core where I need a diamond. I need to whitelist both these things here. Also, right here, where I could put a wyvern core in the past craft. No, hang on. Where I put a draconic core in the past craft, it could. Actually, I'm not sure I have another conflict there. You know what? Let's just. Okay, so where do I have the wyvern? It would be right here. Okay, and so in this recipe, we could swap the 2, so I need to not do anything more because I'm going to have both of them whitelisted anyways. Okay, so I think that this will work. Now, this last one right here, it needs to be, actually needs to be whitelisted, but it needs to be whitelisted to the different upgrades. Okay, so what I can do is I think I can get rid of all this stuff. And what I need to do is I need to figure out what upgrades I'm going to apply to my bow. And I think I'm going to do all 4. So if I hold control here, there's RF capacity. So that would be this right here. There is arrow damage. So that would be this right here. There's arrow speed. And then there is, what's the last one? Draw speed. Arrow damage, arrow speed, draw speed. Okay, so that should be the upgrades that I'm going to need. And I just need to huck these in here somewhere. And let's actually craft one of each, so I can go ahead and whitelist these. And if I decide to make other draconic items and I want to go ahead and infuse them with some upgrades, I can just go ahead and kind of duplicate this system here. All I need to do is go ahead and whitelist them right here. And in addition, I need to have some sort of, oh, I see what happened to my crafting cards. Okay, back on track. I need to put a chest or something up here so where I can drop in the upgrade I want so that I can do my infusion craft here. So and actually I don't want this automatic output system, I don't think. And you'll see why when I actually get to crafting here in a second. But I need modular storage. Let's grab a tier 1 upgrade for that, and then I'm going to need some more item duct with a servo. And this servo will be always on. So where do I want to stand when I'm operating this thing? Let's say I'm going to stand right here. So let's dig through here. Let's put down some impulse item duct. Let's put down the modular storage unit right here. Put in the upgrade or the storage thingy-majig. We'll set this to be always on. We'll get covers to make it look pretty. And then we just need to hook this item duct up to this item duct over here. And that should work beautifully. And then let's go ahead and cover this up. Okay, so let's get started on maybe a craft here. So let's do the RF capacity first. That should go ahead and get sucked up right here. That's cool. Okay, so first off, we need to drop our bow in to right here, or whatever we're going to infuse, and then we just hit a button. And theoretically, the things should start appearing. Okay, I see a problem here. Instead of placing a Draconic upgrade thing here, it placed another diamond, a third diamond, and I need that third diamond not to be there. So I'm not sure how to fix this. Do Draconic, come on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and I'm going to try to figure out a way to fix this, because this is going to be a problem on, I think, every single tier here. I need it to be able to put in the right items. So I'm going to try to figure this out, and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, so finally I have come up with a solution here to get this functional, and it involves another set of fusion crafting injectors, and they are the Wyvern tier, and that is because they will be doing the Wyvern tier crafting recipes. So the thing is, the basic tier, which is this row of items right here, and the Draconic tier of fusion crafting, they have no conflicting elements, and so I can put them both on this same set of fusion crafting injectors, and it should work fine. The thing is, I separated out the Wyvern tier so that everything should work and not conflict, and every time I hit a button, it should do what it needs to do. So as we see here, we need to upgrade this still a few more times. The arrow damage, which is currently in right here, it needs to be the Draconic tier. So let's go ahead and hit that button and see if we can't get that craft going. But I think this is a good build, and it seems like it is going to work, and everything is going to be functional. So this will be really, really useful in the future if I decide to make more weapons or items from the mod Draconic Evolution, because I can go ahead and upgrade these things super, super quickly, and that will obviously be really nice. I don't have to hunt down new recipes or anything. I just need to have the correct upgrade, and I can go ahead and upgrade it really, really quick. So as we see here, this needs arrow speed and a couple more arrow speeds. So, and for the final craft, or for the Wyvern tier, you can have the upgrade right here, and it will still work, as I will demonstrate by hitting the Wyvern button. Everything will go through this item duct up here, and eventually it will start crafting. So as you can see, it seems to work perfectly awesome. I think it's a pretty cool build. So anyways, Yeah, in today's episode, I set up this system. It can automatically upgrade Draconic Evolution items and weapons, and that is really, really nice to have. So if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give it a like. It did take a bunch of effort to get this thing functional. And if you enjoy watching automation in modded Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.